My name is Jane Shine. Recently I received a flurry of activity on a page on Facebook about my craft room, and a few people asked me for a video, so here I am. We just recently moved into our house about 5 months ago, and we designed the whole upstairs around my craft room. My architect did not understand why 6 inches meant so much to me. So if you come up at the top of the steps and you come into my room, I have this big door here that I can close to keep grandchildren out when I get them, that is. And welcome to my craft room. My husband is holding the camera, so we hope it's okay. You know how guys are. Anyhow, we're gonna start over here on this left side of the wall. I had this big unit built by a local closet company with the specifications that I wanted to put these paper holders in from Stamp & Storage. They come brown. I painted them, and it was a real pain, but I wanted them white. So I painted them with spray paint outside, and there's a trick, and I'm not even really sure I did it correctly. So I have all of these built in. These are my papers. If you open this up, this is where I keep all of my 6x6 papers. I needed to find a company that could have heavy-duty drawer dividers, gliders to hold 130 pounds. I have more 6x6 paper down here. And then this paper down here are my 12x12s that I did not have the heart to cut into 6x6s. I don't use it as often, but I do like having it there. You know, once you own it, you hate to get rid of it. These are my 2 Razcogs from IKEA. One of them houses my markers, and the other one houses my 12 Days of Christmas needle points that I'm working on, or stitching that I'm working on. In this cabinet, I have more paper. I have them in magazine holders on their side, and I put labels on them. This is Jennifer McGuire style. I really like this, the way this works, because it holds so much paper, but for up here, I really like the way it looks, so I went with the look. Down here, I have some miscellaneous paper, my specialty paper, my punches, which I don't use very much, but they're there. If you go to my right, I had this cabinet built in. I knew I wanted to build this in. I searched Pinterest for months. I looked at craft room videos. It was crazy, but I fell in love with this. So I have 8 of these units. I had the builder build me in a platform. I had the big units installed next to it, and then I had the top put on second or third, I guess. If you can come around, Will, I'll show you what's inside these cabinets. I love all the drawers. I love the top. This is actually as clean as it's ever been, even since I moved in, if you don't mind. So I have labels on all of my things inside the drawer, because I can never remember where anything is. So I have pencils, all my pencils. I have my gesso and my mediums in here. My Dr. Martin's watercolor. I keep my magnetic sheets for my die cuts in here. These are just little miscellaneous things in here. Let's see what else I have. All my Nuvo stuff is in here. I keep all of my white, black, and colored form in a drawer so I can just throw it in. These are my paper and envelope drawers. These are all every single piece of paper that you saw has been swatched, and there's a label on the back. And when I'm working, I go to my island, I pull out what I'm looking for, and I swatch it. I totally stole that idea from Jennifer McGuire. When I'm doing Copics and painting, I do samples, and then I write down what I used if I like them, so I don't have to reinvent the wheel every 5 minutes. These are my envelopes. I'll show you those later. This is a sample of every single envelope, and when I get down to 1 or 2, I match it up, and then I know I have to order them without running out. These are all my embossing small powders. These are my large ones, my coffee filters, my little spoons. Here's some other ones. I have them all in these Cisterma containers with a little swatch on top so I know what it actually looks like when it's been embossed. In here I have all my paint swatches. I have Altenew separated. And then this is every single ink that I own. I have a full set syndrome, so there you go. Let's see what I have. My label maker is right here so I can reach behind whenever I'm working on labeling anything. My ink blending tools. Pretty much anything I need to get at is right here. So over here, I have ink units from Stampin' Storage, and I have the regular size, and then I have the ones for the distress oxides or the distress inks. These are all my larger inks that I own. I own a lot of minis as well. These are all my felt, and I have them in little, they're called job ticket holders. Totally stole that idea from Jennifer McGuire as well. And these are swatches or little samples of all the felt with who I got it from, and that way if I'm looking through, I know what color I have or what color I don't have. In here, I have more sliding drawers, and these are all my stamps. Now, the way I choose to store my stamps, if there's a die and matching die, of course I'm picking any, I keep the die behind on a magnetic piece of sheet. These are actually register covers that I buy from Home Depot. And I also know that I really have two hobbies. One is stamping and one is collecting the stamps. So a lot of these stamps haven't even been used, but here's the dies. And if I cut out extras, I keep them back there. So these are my stamps, and these are all labeled. They're all in alphabetical order by company, and then they go to what they are: birthday, baby, fall, that kind of thing. And then I have all my sentiments are in here in alphabetical order by company. And then all my Christmas and winter are in no particular order. And I must like them because I have 2 rows of them. Another thing I do, which these are baseball card holders. And if I just stamp it and color in and I make a card and I'm bored with it, or I want to move on, or I do too many, I just put it all in here. And sometimes I just come up here and grab some of these and figure out, well, what the heck do I want to make next, and pull out some of this. Over here, these are all my dies. Again, in alphabetical order. These are all CD dividers, and I cut the bottom off. Alphabetical order by what they are: a banner, a geometric shape, it could be a heart, any interactive dies that I have, any tags that I have. I keep all my words and phrases in one particular section, so I'm not always digging through. And I do keep everything on Evernote. Oh, and here's some more, and then down here's my Stampin' Up! Ink. I'm sorry, I got excited about Evernote. I keep an inventory on Evernote, and that way it's on all my devices, and when I'm ready to, if I don't know if I own it or I can't find it, or let's say I want a sentiment that says, thinking of you. Well, then I can type in thinking of you, and every stamp I have that has it, thinking of you, is in there, and I can just kind of go through the pictures and find out which one it is, and then I say where it's filed. So over here's where I work. I owned this island before the room existed. And I owned some things on the other side of the room before the room existed. So we kind of built the room around what I own. Do you mind coming over here for a sec? So this is where I sit. In this top drawer, I have a miscellaneous collection of tape runners and purple tape and, temporary tape, whatever I think I might need. Down here are all my basic inks. These are my blacks, my whites, and my Versamark or my Brutus Monroe embossing ink. Down here is punches and magnetic bowls for dies, which are great because you don't lose them. Or if you can't find one, you take this bowl and you put it in your pile of paper and it scoops it right up. Over here I have my blocks, my powders, all the tools that I use on a regular basis to make something. This drawer is all of my tapes, my foam, my score tape, whatever I got going on in here. And then this is just miscellaneous pens and scissors. Over here I have my claws that I love to clean my stamps. My gems are all in color order. And then down here I have all my twine. Up here, these are my new things that I haven't had a chance to work on yet. This is where I keep my stamp chamois. And then I have all of my glues in here, and I keep them upside down so they're ready to go. And then these are just different plates that I need for the different die cut machines that I have. If you come around over here, this is a ribbon holder, and I took this from Keisha Allen, I believe is her name, in Woodstock, Georgia. Her craft room is featured on the Stamp and Surge website, and I took this from her, and I absolutely love it. The shells are from IKEA, and the people who built the island just built those right on in. So if you come over here, these are the wider IKEA units, but they're so low to the ground that they're hard to work with. So Jennifer Maker has a website, and she's a crafty person, and she put these legs on the bottom of hers, and I asked her how to do it. She told me, and they came out amazing if you ask me. I had Stamp and Storage build me this unit from here down, custom for my papers, and then I was able to put my 12 by 12s and my 1/8 by 10 here to fill up the space. I kind of use this as a display of things that I've made. These are compliments of Becky Roberts, Inking Idaho. She has great ideas. These are all little crafty things I've made through the years. This is all my 12 by 12 paper that I use regularly, so I keep that all in here. This is my Nino 110, my vellum, my Nina 80, whatever. Well, I'm masking, stick it, it's all here. In here I have my washi tape, and this little holder came from Storage and More, and it's made for washi tape. Then I have these little minks, little mini inks. These also came from Storage and More. And I have a lot of mini inks because they don't take up a lot of space, although they are harder to stamp with. More mini inks here. I have all of these buttons and brads and things like that I've collected through the years. I don't use them as much, but I certainly don't want to get rid of them. I keep my distress ink in these little holders with a rubber band around them so they won't open up. I take them to my table, and I do what I need to do with them. Here's where I keep my sequins and stuff like that. These containers come from Elizabeth Ward, and you can buy individual containers if you need them. Over here, so I owned these units before. These are Alpha shelving units from the Container Store, and these are actually on the legs. They're not built in the wall at all, so that made it really easy to put together. And we designed the room around that because I already owned them. So over here I have envelopes. I just take the envelope drawer, put it on my desk when I'm finished with my cards, pick out the color I want, and then put it back. I have foam in here, bunch of leftover paper. I have a bunch of reinkers down here. All my reinkers are labeled, and I get those little packs from Stampin' Up. There's some more up here. I like to make cards. Sometimes I like to send them. Actually, I send cards all the time. I'm just like a machine. If I'm making one, I'm making 6, and then I'm making 10, and then I'm doing whatever. So these are all the cards that I've made that are all ready to mail, and I do mail them. I got that cool floating die cut idea from Jennifer McGuire. Just a few cards that's in there, and they're separated by categories. So you've got summer, get well, congrats, whatever. I use those same CD dividers, and I put them all there. These are my Copics, my Copic reinkers. One thing I also do when I have extra cards is I put them in boxes, and then I put little tags on them, or some of them have tags, some of them don't, I guess. And I give them away as Christmas presents, or when I go to a housewarming or to a dinner, just a little thank you. And everybody's always very appreciative of that. And what else is over here? Nothing really exciting. So over here again, these are all drawer units from the Container Store. They're Alpha. And I have my ready-to-go storage pockets in here, because if I'm not ready to go, my stamps get really disorganized. I have one size in here. I have another 2 sizes in here, plus more CD holders. These are all my envelopes of miscellaneous sizes, my 6x6, my 4.5x4.5, or my vellum ones are in here. Just miscellaneous tools in here. Let's see. I have extra tape, adhesives in here. I like to make a lot of crafty gifts. One of the things I love about paper crafting, when I discovered paper crafting about 4 years ago, was the ability to make something and give it to somebody or send it to somebody right away. I used to be a big knitter, and if you stood still long enough, I'd knit your hair. But it just got to be very difficult to, people go, oh, can you make me a scarf like that? Yeah, sure, if I got 40 hours, you know, and $100 for one scarf. So now I can make a card or a little gift, whatever the gift might be. I don't even have anything handy right this very second. And I can give it away, and they're appreciative, and I have fun getting up here and making a list of who gets what. So I have a lot of leftover stuff, like test tubes. You know, you never know what you might want to put in, you know, CD holders. You never know what you might want to put in that stuff. I have a drawer full of candy, because I'm always candying, and now we have that new nugget holder from My Favorite Things, so that's a big hit for my people. And then over here, this is all my non-paper crafting stuff. This is knitting and knitting books and sewing projects I haven't finished, or actually this is a little something I did finish for Christmas next year, a little sneak preview of that. And actually Christmas this year, believe it or not. And what else is going on? Oh yeah, so over here we have the 2 chairs. We live on the lake, and unfortunately it's dark out, but everybody says I have the prettiest view in the whole house. I see the view when I walk in the door, and then my head's down and I don't see it. But my husband likes to sit here, or my kids, or whoever. Over here, this is still left over from my sewing days. I don't use this side as much, but I do have 2 stools here for anybody who'd like to come craft with me. And my cat came to say hi. And then what I do is I grab a card, I sit in this stool, and then this is where I address them. Number one, let me reach over here real quick. I have this really cool birthday box that I got the idea from Jennifer McGuire. And so all my birthdays are in there by month with the address. And about 10 days before the month is over, I come up here and address all the birthday cards for the month. I write the date on them, and they sit on my desk, and it reminds me to mail them. And if I'm late, I have a stamp that says, sorry, I'm late. I stamp it on the envelope and still mail it. So then I have a lot of stamps. I've been collecting stamps. My favorite are From Me to You. I wish I would have bought a million of them. And I have my address labels. I have my different color pens. I have Sharpies. My favorite pen is this Pilot pen. It writes absolutely amazing. Oh, nothing in that drawer. I gotta go buy something. And then I have some cards that I've also made that aren't in there, that are a little more personalized, that they have my name on it. This is a Carissa Wiley design, and with my name, and then a few other miscellaneous cards that I never get to mail. And I think that's it. With TV, my husband wants you to see the TV. And I have a lot of pictures in here of my daughter made when she was 7 or 5 or 4 or 3. And pictures of my family. I just like it to be surrounded by stuff. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you like it. If you have any questions, put a comment on the blog. I am going to tell you how to put that unit together over there. I'm going to link to a lot of the products that I have, and so that you don't have to be digging through the internet to find it. And if you have any questions you want to mention, the room is 16 wide by 20 long, in case you wanted to know. All the aisles are about 42, 44 inches because I wanted to make sure I had room. Thanks.